Imagine looking up at the night sky and witnessing some of the rarest, most awe-inspiring cosmic spectacles of our lifetime. From the 20-million-ton asteroid Apophis flying closer than our satellites to a breathtaking burst of the Leonid meteor shower, these celestial events are not to be missed. In the next few years, we'll experience the darkest eclipse of the century, a spectacular planetary alignment, and even the International Space Station burning up in the atmosphere. So, here are 8 incredibly rare things that we will most certainly get to see in our lifetime. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel for regular space updates. The first on the list is the burst of the Leonid meteor shower, often described as the night it rains fireballs from space. This is a once-in-a-generation event that you cannot miss. The Leonid meteor storm is a remarkable event that occurs when Earth passes through the dense trail of debris left by the comet Tempel-Tuttle. Unlike a typical meteor shower, which might produce dozens of meteors per hour, a meteor storm can generate thousands of meteors per hour, creating a stunning celestial display. The Leonids are particularly famous for their history of producing such storms, with some past events becoming legendary. One of the most famous Leonid meteor storms occurred on November 12th to 13th, 1833. It's estimated that more than 100,000 meteors were visible per hour across North America, making the night sky appear like it was raining stars. For reference, the best annual meteor showers produce just 100 to 120 meteors per hour under dark skies. Following the 1833 storm, another impressive Leonid display occurred in 1866, when around 1,000 meteors per hour were observed. Another spectacular Leonid meteor storm took place in 1966, with observers in the southwestern United States witnessing meteors falling at a rate of 40 to 50 per second, which is around 140 per thousand meteors per hour. Some described it as an unforgettable fireworks display that lit up the entire sky. The Leonid meteor showers occur annually around November 17th to 18th, but not every year brings a meteor storm. Historically, the storms happen in 33-year cycles as Earth passes through the dense parts of the debris trail left by the parent comet. The last significant storm was in 2001, so the next predicted major Leonid storm may occur around 2032 to 2033, when the comet will once again approach Earth's orbit. On the night of June 25, 2029, the darkest eclipse of the 21st century will take place. For 1 hour and 42 minutes, the full moon will be plunged into deep shadow, passing directly through the center of Earth's umbra. The moon will be stained a deep orange or red color at maximum eclipse. 2 key factors make this eclipse stand out. First is the umbral eclipse magnitude, a measurement of how deeply the moon moves into Earth's umbra, the darkest part of its shadow, with an umbral magnitude of 1.843. This eclipse marks the deepest total lunar eclipse of the entire century. The second factor is the gamma value, which reveals how close the moon passes to the center of Earth's shadow. A gamma value of 0 means the moon moves right through the middle, resulting in a perfectly centered eclipse. The June 2029 eclipse has an extraordinarily low gamma value of just 0.0124, making it the darkest eclipse you'll see in this century. This eclipse will be visible from parts of the Americas, Western Europe, and Africa. The partial eclipse will last for 3 hours and 39 minutes, while the total eclipse, the heart of the event, will last an unforgettable 1 hour 42 minutes. The next event on the list is the naked eye view of Apophis. Imagine looking up at the sky and seeing an asteroid passing by our planet, one that was considered the most potentially hazardous in recorded history. But here's something just as exciting. What if you could turn this event in a video using a simple text prompt? That's where Video AI comes in. It's the world's most popular AI video creator, with over 10 million users across 150 countries. It's the only AI video creator out of the 20+ tools I've tried that puts you in control and works as your sidekick. Start with a simple text prompt, and it creates the first draft for you. You can regenerate or give commands for specific changes. Want to add subtitles? Done. Want to translate your video into French? Done. You can even clone your voice to narrate the video in any language, offering immense creative freedom. Well, you can try it for free. The $20 a month plan unlocks features like voice cloning and high-quality stock footage. Use the link and my code in the description to double your video credits in the first month. Instead of a threat, I see tools like Video AI as opportunities to enhance skills and realize projects that were once out of reach. Now, back to Apophis. Apophis, a near-Earth object, made headlines when it was first discovered in 2004 at Arizona's Kitt Peak National Observatory. At that time, it was a staggering 105 million miles away. What made Apophis stand out wasn't just its size but the potential danger it posed. Early calculations of its orbit revealed that this asteroid could collide with Earth. In fact, there was a 2.7% chance of impact during its close approach in 2029, a number that placed it at the highest level on the Torino scale, which measures the risk of space objects. This triggered a wave of concern, both in the scientific community and across the media. The asteroid's orbit was further refined through radar observations, allowing astronomers to rule out the possibility of an impact in 2029 and 2036. However, a small risk remains for 2068, influenced by gravitational forces and the Yarkovsky effect, which slowly alters an asteroid's orbit over time. On April 13, 2029, asteroid Apophis will make a historic close approach to Earth, passing within approximately 31,600 kilometers, or about 20,000 miles of the planet's surface. This distance is notably closer than geostationary satellites and about 10 times closer than the Moon, marking it as the closest known approach of an asteroid of this size in recorded history. With an apparent magnitude of around 3.1, Apophis will be visible to the naked eye, a rare treat for skywatchers in dark suburban areas. You can spot it without any equipment. While binoculars will offer a clearer view in light-polluted regions, it may only appear as a moving speck of light. But knowing that this 20-million-ton rock is safely passing by so close to Earth will make the experience thrilling. The 2029 flyby of Apophis presents an extraordinary opportunity to study the asteroid up close, and NASA's OSIRIS-APEX mission will be right there to seize it. As the successor to the highly successful OSIRIS-REx mission, which brought back samples from asteroid Bennu in 2023, OSIRIS-APEX is set to rendezvous with Apophis in April 2029. Its mission? To study how the asteroid's close encounter with Earth affects its physical properties. The spacecraft will begin its observations as early as April 2, 2029, when Apophis is still 3 million miles away. As the asteroid approaches Earth, OSIRIS-APEX will capture detailed images and data, eventually getting within an astonishing 16 feet of its surface. Then, for months after the asteroid's close pass by Earth, the spacecraft will settle into a stable orbit around Apophis. This extended study will give scientists a unique chance to closely monitor how such a close encounter with Earth influences the asteroid's structure, composition, and behavior, shedding light on the dynamic processes that shape near-Earth objects. The next event on the list is an incredibly long total solar eclipse. On August 2, 2027, the Moon will cast its shadow across parts of the Atlantic Ocean, the Middle East, Africa, and Europe, with the totality lasting an impressive 6 minutes and 22 seconds. This makes it the second longest solar eclipse of the 21st century. But here's the exciting part. While the longest total eclipse of the century occurred in 2009 over the Pacific Ocean, lasting 6 minutes and 40 seconds, the prime viewing location was a remote, uninhabited island. In contrast, the 2027 eclipse will be the longest total solar eclipse visible from easily accessible land in this century. What's even more remarkable is that it will coincide with a super new moon, a new moon at its Brigi perigee. Since the moon will be closest to Earth, it will appear bigger and cover more of the sun's disk with a tighter fit. This will reduce the amount of sunlight that reaches Earth, making the eclipse darker. If you're planning to witness this event, don't miss it. There won't be a longer eclipse until June 3, 2114. Around 2030, we'll witness a bittersweet moment in space history. SpaceX will deorbit the International Space Station, turning it into the most expensive artificial fireball ever created. Since its launch in 1998, the ISS has been a beacon of scientific discovery and international collaboration. But time has taken its toll. The station wasn't designed to last forever, and after decades of exposure to space debris impacts and the unforgiving environment of space, its components are starting to show their age. By the early 2030s, the ISS will have reached the end of its operational life, and keeping it in orbit will no longer be cost-effective. Instead of allowing it to degrade naturally, SpaceX will carefully lower the ISS into Earth's atmosphere. The descent will be controlled to avoid an uncontrolled re-entry, guiding the station toward the spacecraft cemetery in the Pacific Ocean, also known as Point Nemo, the most remote location on Earth, far from any land. As the ISS plunges into the atmosphere, most of it will burn up due to the intense heat generated by friction. Still, some larger fragments may survive and splash down into the ocean. For those lucky enough to be near the re-entry path, this will be a rare and awe-inspiring sight, a massive fireball streaking across the sky, disintegrating like a meteor. However, not everyone will witness this spectacle, as it will only be visible in specific regions. Along the D-orbit path, for those who do, it will be a once-in-a-lifetime experience, a fiery farewell to one of humanity's greatest space achievements. The moon isn't the only celestial object we'll see sweep across the sun. In the coming years, Mercury is set to transit the sun twice before 2040. A Mercury transit occurs when the planet passes directly between Earth and the sun, appearing as a tiny black dot slowly gliding across the solar disk. From our vantage point on Earth, only Mercury and Venus ever transit the sun. Still, while Venus transits are exceptionally rare, occurring in pairs every 105 or 121 years, Mercury's transits are more frequent, happening 13 to 14 times per century. The last Venus transit was in 2012, and we won't see another until 2117. The first Mercury transit will take place on November 13, 2032, and will be visible from parts of Asia, Africa, southwestern Russia, Europe, Australia, and South America. This event will last just over 4 hours, offering a fascinating view for skywatchers. The last Mercury transit occurred in November 2019, so the 2032 event will mark precisely 13 years since that previous celestial crossing. But the show doesn't stop there. Another Mercury transit will occur 7 years later, on November 7, 2039. Like the previous one, it will be visible from many of the same regions, but this time, the transit will be shorter, lasting about 3 hours. These transits offer a rare chance to observe Mercury against the backdrop of the sun, a humbling reminder of the tiny worlds orbiting the vast expanse of our solar system. The next rare event on the list is the super new moon total solar eclipse, set to occur on August 12, 2026. What makes this eclipse particularly special is that just like the 2027 total eclipse over Africa, it aligns with a super new moon, where the moon is near its perigee, the point in its orbit closest to Earth. Because the moon will be closer to Earth during this eclipse, it will completely cover the sun, resulting in a longer and more dramatic eclipse. This total solar eclipse will trace a path over the Arctic, Greenland, Iceland, the Atlantic Ocean, Spain, and a small part of Portugal. In these regions, viewers will experience the full awe of the eclipse as the sky darkens in the middle of the day. For those in other parts of the world, a partial eclipse will still be visible, with more than 90% of the sun covered in countries like Ireland, Great Britain, Portugal, France, Italy, the Balkans, and North Africa, extending to parts of Europe, West Africa, and northern North America. This event will be the first total solar eclipse visible in continental Europe since August 11, 1999. It's also the only total eclipse visible in Iceland in the 21st century. The next one won't come around until 2196, over 170 years later. If you're in one of the prime viewing locations, this is a spectacle you won't want to miss. Last but certainly not least on our list is the grand planetary alignment on September 8, 2040. On this special evening, 5 naked-eye planets Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn will come together in a rare alignment, adding to the spectacle. The crescent moon will also make an appearance, nestled between Venus and Saturn, creating a stunning cosmic scene. The best time to catch this planetary gathering will be around 1930 local time, when the planets will be visible in the early evening sky. While the planets won't form a perfectly straight line, they'll be grouped closely enough in the same region of the sky to offer an extraordinary sight. For anyone with a passion for astronomy or even casual skywatchers, this will be a golden opportunity to see 5 planets at once without the need for a telescope. Such an event won't come around again until March 15, 2080. So, if you have a chance to witness it, don't miss out on this celestial grand show. Thanks for watching, and make sure to check out the link in the description to try NVIDIA AI and bring your ideas to life by turning a single text prompt into a video. See you in the next one. This video is sponsored by NVIDIA AI.